So, Cece, your birthday's coming up. How old are you gonna be? That's how old you are now. How old is that?
3.
3, yeah. So what I was thinking is for your birthday, we could go on a camping trip. Does that sound like fun?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we'll do, we'll keep it a secret, and only you and I will know where we go, and then when we get back, we'll tell Mom, okay? Does that sound like fun?
Here we go.
And then ice cream. You want to go get ice cream?
Yeah.
Okay, so what else do you want to do?
Move back, then go and camping.
You want to go camping?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go camping and we'll get ice cream. That sounds like a pretty good birthday, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right.
I began to plan a trip with a 3-year-old in mind. She's always really enjoyed adventures in the woods, but I knew I would have to plan some activities to keep her entertained. I also knew this probably wasn't the trip where I was going to really test my off-roading skills. Getting stuck by yourself with a 3-year-old does not sound like the type of adventure that I'm looking for. And I've also got some serious doubts about her shoveling abilities. Now to find that ice cream shop I promised. Since this was going to be the first trip of the season, I had my work cut out for me. I wanted to test all of my equipment before we set out. Most of this gear had been in storage since our last Overland trip in August. I also got the crazy idea to keep every aspect of this trip a secret from everyone. For me, that just adds to the excitement. Even my wife Hannah didn't know where we were going until right before we left. The world is a book, and those who do not travel read only one page. St. Augustine. These trips are about more than just showing off all my gear for Instagram. You learn a lot about yourself when you remove the distractions of everyday life. You learn how you deal with adversity and disappointments. Trips like these allow you to reconnect with what's most important in life, and to return feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. It's so easy to get lost in the hustle and bustle of our busy lives, and taking a step back to allow yourself just to experience the moment might be just exactly what we need. Well, we're going to be getting a little later start than I wanted. Already having some issues. Tried to open the tailgate to load some stuff up this morning, and thought it was just frozen because it was cold, but it's moving normal. I've had this issue before, and basically something in here, this is the latch, something gets frozen up in there. I don't know if it's the motor or the spring or something, but that's, I guess, the downside to these electric ones. Gotta take the whole cover off the back here, lube these up really well, and then just work it back and forth to see if it happens. But I don't know, I don't want to leave on a trip and not have stuff working, so here we are.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Okay, Cece. So, for your birthday, me and Chris got you something, okay? She got you a tablet and your own headphones. Isn't that cool? Let's take that out. So I downloaded some shows on there for you, and there's a coloring book, so you can do that while we're on the road, okay? And then you put your headphones on, and I think there's music on there too. Isn't that cool? You look at the camera and say thank you, Chris. Okay, been shy this morning. Alright, let's get the sleeping bags loaded, we'll hit the road, okay? Alright, we are officially on the road. Got a little bit of a late start, had to fix the tailgate, but it's always something. I think I've got it somewhat figured out, we'll see. That's been an issue that I've had a couple times. Thought it was frozen in the past and it just had to get broken up, but it looks like either the spring or something with the motor's not working right. So add that to the list of things to take care of when we get back, but it's all right. Stopped by Chick-fil-A. See Cece over here, she's got her, I think she's working on her tater tots now, so already a great start to the trip. Got a couple hours ahead of us, and then to our first stop, which know about yet. Which ones look good?
I like.
Is that what you want to get? Okay.
I like.
All right, we made it to our first fuel stop. We are near Columbus, I think, just south of Columbus. So we're gonna do this. Made a quick bathroom break and some snacks. Cece picked out some gummies in there. So it's kind of been a staple for all of our trips, especially with Hannah and I. Started doing that over this past summer. We'd always get a bag of gummies every day, just something to snack on while we're driving. So we're continuing that now, and we're gonna hit the road again.
Our first destination on this trip was just outside the city of Athens, Ohio. This was a surprise for just about everybody. The nighttime lows were supposed to be in the 30s, and I didn't want Cece to freeze. I reached out to Athens Overland, and they let me borrow this camper for the trip.
We have made it to our second stop on the trip. We've got a couple last minute grocery items we need before we head out, so I figured we'd stop in here. We also, Cece, what did we forget?
We need pillow.
Why do we need pillows?
So we go camping.
Did somebody forget the pillows?
Yeah.
Oops. We get. Here, can you put that in?
Muffins have become a staple on the Meyer Camp breakfast menu, and this trip would be no exception.
All right, so we made our first stop. Well, second stop, I guess. Just gonna get some stuff loaded up here. We grabbed some last minute groceries that we needed. Get some peanut butter, mac and cheese, you know, all the essentials here. We also grabbed our pillows. I'm gonna toss those through there, because somebody forgot to bring pillows. Sorry, we got to pick out some new ones. Let's see else. We got some apples. Those up here. Get that in there. Some strawberry jam. I was gonna do cheeseburgers, and then I found these. Yeah, bacon cheeseburgers. Everything's right in there, so I don't have to worry about that. That's going in the fridge. We're gonna do pancakes one morning, and we got the triple chocolate muffins. I decided to let Cece pick it out, and you know when you let a 3-year-old choose, you're gonna get chocolate. So we're gonna get this all loaded in, get the fridge loaded up, and we're gonna be headed out to camp.
Ranger stations can be a great spot to get info, not only on the history of the area, but you can also get expert input on campsites and trails. That is, if you remember to ask. As we head off towards our first campsite, I felt a sense of nervous excitement. Even though we had made it to the Wayne National Forest, there were still so many unknowns. Did someone beat us to our planned campsites? Did we bring enough warm clothes? Did we stay warm at night? How would Cece do being in the woods for 3 days? What were we missing out on at home? It's easy to let your mind wander and think about all the unknowns. Something I'm focusing on for this trip is just to be present and enjoy the moments as they happen. The Wayne National Forest is the only national forest in Ohio. It's named after General Anthony Wayne, who was one of the founding fathers and played a pivotal role in the battle for the territory that is now known as Ohio. The forest consists of over 240,000 acres, and luckily, they do allow dispersed camping. Once I decided on what region we would be going to, I began searching for trails, campsites, and things to do. I spent time marking trails and points of interest on Onyx. This area has everything from mild gravel roads up to trails that are rated as an 8 out of 10 or even higher. I also utilized some Facebook groups and got recommendations from locals. I want to give a shout out to Brian for his recommendations. Anytime you can utilize local first-hand knowledge when planning a trip, I would highly recommend doing so.
Well, the only problem being out here with the trailer, now we get to back up. It's all right. Decent road. We're looking for the fire tower up here. You can see, hopefully you can see pretty cool views from up here. Now let's test my trailer backing skills.
One concern I had with pulling a trailer, especially on unfamiliar trails, was maneuverability. I knew I would have to turn around at some point on the trip, I just didn't expect it to be so soon. This camper was small enough that I could just jackknife it into a wide part of the trail. Then with a little bit of shimmying, I was able to pull forward and back the other way.
Well, I'm starting to notice another theme here. Closed gates. I don't know if it's time of year or just this area. Although now I say no camping signs, so I guess this wouldn't be a good spot anyway. Well, I'm getting good at backing up a trailer, that's for sure. Made it into camp. I was starting to get a little discouraged. Most of the places that I had marked, I'd probably found 3 or 4 campsites that I had looked at up on Onyx and on maps and things like that. And one of them had a tree down across the way that we couldn't get through. I probably could have stopped and cut it, but I didn't want to do that. Another one had a bunch of big rocks in front of it. Obviously the Forest Service had closed that trail and didn't want people on it. A couple of the other ones just pretty trashy. There was a lot of just garbage, and it was unfortunate that people haven't taken care of this beautiful forest that we're in. But yeah, I was just feeling pretty discouraged, and this almost happens to me probably once a trip. I usually get a day where it's just like stuff starts going wrong, and I just kind of start doubting whether it's what I want to be doing. This is a beautiful spot. So, I said a little prayer, asked for the Holy Spirit to guide me to a good spot, and here we are. We're basically just right on the side of a road, but it's a good spot. I've seen a couple cars go by, but nice and quiet. There's a little stream off to our side here. You can hear that in the background probably, but overall, I think this is gonna be a good spot. We got camp set up. Tonight we are doing hot dogs and baked beans at someone's request. You excited for hot dogs?
Yeah.
All right. Put this on here. Baked beans. Yeah. All right, so this is an induction cooktop. I've never used one. Let's see if we can figure it out. What he was saying is power on, and then you choose what you're doing. Sounds like it's cooking. Let's see what happens. So far I'm impressed. It did drop us by 2% just to cook the beans, which ended up being about 5 amp hours, according to our little gauge here. All right, got our very nutritious meal of hot dogs and baked beans going here. Please, can I have the tongs, please?
Yeah.
Is this what you wanted for your birthday dinner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just closed it.
You're gonna close it? Okay.
Anymore.
Hmm?
I'm not good anymore.
Good. Does that look good? You want one? Do you want yours on a bun, or do you just want the hot dog cut up? You want yours on a bun? Okay. All right, that can be yours. And then I'll take these. That's off.
You got more things.
Hmm?
Where's that one? It goes with more.
Let's set that up there. Yeah. Here, I'll give you a couple scoops, okay? Does that look good? Hmm? Okay. Put that like that. Ooh, we'll put your hot dog on it, and you want Chick-fil-A sauce on yours?
Yeah.
Okay. Some Chick-fil-A sauce. Okay. Here's your hot dog.
Thank you.
Here, we'll set it right. Cheers. Camping.
Cheers. Happy.
So for me, this trip is just a great way to connect. I don't want to say reconnect because it never was broken, but connect deeper with Cece. I think with the hustle and bustle of everyday life, there's been times where she's kind of gotten pushed aside to other priorities, which I don't like that. So I started thinking about this a couple weeks ago. I knew I had this break coming up, and I wanted to think about ways that I could spend time with her. I think this is something I want to do with Cece and Lewis every year for their birthdays, and if we have more kids in the future, with them too. I think just taking a long weekend, a couple days, just come out and just spend time directly with them. Doesn't have to be camping. It could be anywhere. If they want to go to Florida, we'll go to Florida and hang out on the beach, or probably not go fishing. I get seasick when we're out on the deep water like that. But I think this is a great way to just spend quality time together, away from the hustle and bustle of everyday life, away from the constant noise that is what our society has us doing all the time. So I think getting out, wherever that can be, with kids, with your family members, with those you love, that's a great way to go about life. Hi. How are you? All right, Cece, you want pancakes? Okay. Are these hot? Is this for me? Okay.
Well, we don't have anything to measure with.
Looks like about a cup.
Slow down.
Huh?
Just slow down.
Slow down. Is that better?
I just need one more. I just eat it.
Okay.
I just take it.
Perfect. I think it's just the angle here. Oh, it was perfect.
Yeah.
You want coffee? There's more of it out there. You're never gonna nap if I give you coffee. All right. We'll set that in front of the heater. Maybe it'll warm up a little bit. How is it?
That's good.
Good. Today, so that's where we are, Cece. We're right there. And we're gonna drive.
Back home?
Nope, we're gonna drive over here. And this road has a bunch of tunnels, and there's a lake we can look at, and there's some horses even. I don't know if you're big enough to ride on the horses, but we can at least look at them, right? Okay. So today, once we get packed up, we're gonna head over. It's called the Vinton County Tunnel Tour. It's supposed to have a bunch of cool things on it. So there's some tunnels, there's some fire lookout towers. That was the plan last night, to camp at a lookout tower, and it was closed off, so it's all right. But I'm feeling optimistic about today. We had good breakfast, right, Cece? As she's shoveling pancakes in her mouth. This camper worked out really well. It was pretty warm in here last night. And then this morning I turned the heater on for Cece, and she just sat in here and played on her little tablet while I was cooking breakfast. She wanted to get out once and then quickly came back in here because it's cold outside. Well, I guess we're not that remote. Just came across this as we were driving. Looks like they're building, I don't know if it's a neighborhood or what, but this would be a beautiful spot to live, just up in these rolling hills. Anybody that's interested, this place is for sale, I think. There's a phone number. You've got a beautiful view. Just these rolling hills. This would be a very peaceful spot, especially on that deck over there. Nice cup of coffee in the morning. I think I could do that.
Today we'll be exploring Ohio's Zaleski State Forest.
All right, I'm hearing a little bit of a rattle here. Yep. And these little bolts here starting to come a little bit loose. Just figured I'd stop and tighten those up before we start losing stuff. This happens a lot. I don't know why I haven't Loctited them yet. Probably next time I take this off, I'll throw some Loctite on there, but should be good to go.
Today's route would consist of a mix of dirt and gravel trails, along with a fair amount of pavement. What it lacked in technicality, it made up for it with some pretty great views, at least on the Ohio scale. Until this trip, I really wasn't sure what I thought about overland campers. In my mind, they just limited where you could go, and a camper didn't provide much benefit that a rooftop tent and a well laid out truck bed couldn't solve. This trip definitely makes me reconsider that stance. The ease of setting up camp and the ability to just leave it and come back later is unmatched. The crew at AO assured me that these are built for off-roading, so I took it anywhere that I wanted to go. This wasn't the most intense torture test, but I feel confident that this could go anywhere that I can fit my truck. Cece was having a great time. She was shrieking on the downhills and cheering, "We go in circles!" on every curve. Her excitement made this trip even more enjoyable for me.
I'm gonna get these solar panels set up. Just looked, we've charged about 10% from where we left this morning, and that's with the 400 watt panel on top. I think it's watt. So we've been driving mostly in the woods, and we're gonna be checking out a tunnel here. So I'm gonna get this set out and just add a little bit extra power.
Briefcase solar panels are particularly useful because you can position them almost anywhere to maximize exposure to the sun.
Pretty simple. Just got this here, and there's a plug that goes right in there. Red to red, black to black, and we're charging. What are those, Cece? What kind of animals are those?
White horse.
A white horse? Cece.
A bicycle. Come on. Come on. What works? Dad. Read tunnel.
These abandoned railroad tunnels are some of the many remnants that remain from the coal mining industry that flourished in this area during the 1800s. This tunnel is virtually all that's left of the abandoned town of Moonville. Back on the trail, we headed towards the next tunnel. I can only wonder what this area would have looked like during its heyday. It's hard to imagine a small town built up in what is all forest today.
We are walking to another tunnel. I don't remember the name of this one. I'll have to check Onyx when we get back. Basically, they make it really hard to get to any of the tunnels around here, at least driving. The gate was one of those, like, they've got posts in the ground all the way across it. It was open. I don't know, what do you think? Open to full-size vehicles or not? You got where the post is supposed to go. It's not there. Same thing on the other side there. But I didn't want to try it. So, got Cece in the stroller down here. She was about ready to fall asleep for her nap, so threw her in the stroller. I'm gonna push her. Started my watch at the truck. I think it's gonna be about a quarter mile or less. It's kind of right up here around the corner. This is really cool. It almost smells like old train in here. I can just imagine them ripping through here back in the days. Probably hauling. I've heard a lot about mining in the area, and I'm sure lumber as well. So I found this. I don't know if this is settling or unsettling. You can see where these either broke or they didn't build them. But if you look up there, you can see some sort of rock around it. And then all the dirt has either fallen away or been carried away. That's cool. You can see on this side where they've carved out the rock for it. I'm sure they had to move a lot of dirt to get to that, and they basically just got the wood holding it up, what's left. But you've got this massive amount of rock all the way around. I think that's what we were seeing on the inside, is where they removed the dirt and probably had to blast their way through. It's amazing to think about what they did. I don't know how long ago this was, but compared to the technology and heavy equipment we've got today. So apparently they used to drop chunks of iron ore, which was in limestone, and a bunch of charcoal in from the top. There used to be buildings around here. And they would heat it up to over 3,000 degrees, which would obviously turn it into liquid iron. And then they would somehow extract that, I'm assuming at the bottom here. And that was what they used to make iron in this area.
Again, I'm reminded how a simple change in perspective makes all the difference in the world. From the ground, this looked like nothing more than a stream.
All right, we are at the top of one of the fire towers. I have no idea how high this is. It's a really cool view though.
A red house.
No. So we're up here at the Atkinson, I believe, Atkinson Fire Tower. You can see the sign says 60 feet. It seems a little taller than that to me, but climbed up it and it's locked at the top. But I'm kind of looking now and I see some broken out windows and some other stuff like that. So probably a reason for that. We were planning to stay up here tonight. You can see there's a fire pit, like right there. There's some more back over here somewhere. There's a toilet, it looks like. I didn't check that out. Then there's a sign that said it's closed and it's only open during hunting season. So I called and spoke to somebody. She was actually the forest manager, I believe her title was, trying to get permission for, we're not up here to trash it. We're self-contained. They don't have to worry about anything. She said that their main focus is not recreation. Their main focus is forestry management. They're not really here for the recreation side, which is discouraging to hear. We're gonna have to go find another spot. I guess there's a state forest campground down the road. Well, we made it to camp. We're at the Lake Hope, I think it's a state campground. One of the things I'm realizing here is that primitive dispersed camping, not really a thing. There were some sites in the Wayne National Forest yesterday, but even those were basically just like a widened part of the trail that you could camp on. It wasn't good areas like I'm used to. Around here there were a lot of awesome areas actually, but so far as I know, none of the state campground or the state forests allow primitive camping. So if you're coming to the area, I guess just expect to find yourself in something like this. So there's nobody else here. We're on top of a ridge. It's actually kind of a cool spot, but just a little bit more built up than I was hoping for. So tonight we're doing baked beans. I have the leftovers from yesterday. I threw them in a Ziploc bag and dumped them in here. So we're just heating those up. And then we are doing burgers. There we go. Tonight we are doing burgers. These are bacon cheddar patties. I figured it'd be easier to just buy them already made than try to make my own patties out here. So, and these have cheese and bacon already in them. So I'm excited. We'll see how Cece likes it. Burgers. Pan is very hot. That's yours. There you go. All right, YouTube eats first. Oh, that's hot. All right, so you've got a burger, just normal burger, but then you've got chunks of cheese and bacon inside, which tastes delicious, and for out here, couldn't be easier. Walmart might be onto something here.
After we got dinner cleaned up, we walked over to the playground, but much to Cece's dismay, there were no friends.
Do the count. count again.
1, 2, go.
3.
Yeah.
Good job. Can I have a hug? Just kind of sitting out here. The sun just set. Just kind of reflecting. It's been a good couple of days here. Kind of crazy how quick time flies by for the amount of time and effort that got put into planning this trip and how quick it actually went. So a lot of stuff had to change as we were on the fly, but I guess that's part of it. I was just thinking about all the sights we saw today and all of the places we got to go. And I think that's what I like best about this type of vacation is you get to see stuff that you wouldn't otherwise. You know, if you were just going to the Hampton Inn and staying in a city, you never would have seen this stuff. I mean, you'd have to get out. And a lot of it was down not a difficult trail, but not a trail that a lot of people would go down, not just a little gravel road. There might be easier ways to get there, but I guess the way we went. So, and then to be out here, just, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there's some dogs out there howling at each other. I don't know if they're coyotes or wolves or what, I'm not sure. I can't tell them apart by the sound, but it's interesting. I just imagine these woods are full of them. And we're sleeping in here tonight, so we don't have to worry about it. I guess that is the good thing about not being in a tent or a hammock or whatever, because if something's able to get through that, then I guess it's time for us to meet our maker. But no, it is cool. It's just a very unique way, I guess, of traveling, and something that a lot of people don't do and a lot of kids aren't going to have experience with, but here we are. So I think this is going to be a nice night to sit out here and look at the stars too. Just watch the sunset, took a bunch of pictures with my drone, and wow, there's mosquitoes out here. But yeah, I think this is really fun. I wish Hannah was here. I wish Lewis was here. I wish the whole family was here. It's always fun going with the family and even going with friends and stuff too. But you know, Cece's had a great time. She was talking on the phone briefly to Hannah about all the things we did. She kept calling the fire tower a tree house. So she liked that. She thought it was really cool. But yeah, it's just a little, again, disappointing campsite selection. Actually, this turned out really good. There's a little playground just like right over the hill here. Cece liked that. We walked over there for a little bit. There's nobody else here. I've seen like 2 cars drive by. So it's not the place I was hoping for. It's unfortunate, but it's not a bad spot. Got this really cool view actually out here through the trees. And on the drone, I'll put some pictures up of what I took with that. But it's just rolling hills and watching the sunset and just spinning around, taking a bunch of pictures. I hope they turned out really well. I'm excited for what that's going to look like. But I'm going to wait till I get home to look at those. But yeah, I think we're going to crawl into bed here, wake up maybe early in the morning, and then we're going to eat breakfast, hit the road. We'll see. I think I've got a pretty good plan for tomorrow. Hey, look.
Hello?
Hello. I can't see you. It's all dark.
What's up?
Just calling to say hi.
I turned them. Okay. I'm laying in bed with Lewis.
Oh, okay. There you are. Hi, buddy. Here, sit up so Lewis can see you. Hi. Here, let's point this down. Did you go biking today?
You going to bike today?
Yeah. You having fun with Mom? Okay. Good night, Lewis.
Good night. Good night, Mom.
She just kissed the screen.
Nice.
All right. Love you guys. Bye. All right, so we slept really well last night, actually. It's 36 degrees right now, and we didn't even run the heaters. This thing's insulated so well, it just kept us warm. So not the case had we been in our rooftop tent. I still like rooftop tents, but there's definitely a place for something like this. So we're gonna get some breakfast going. I already made coffee. We're gonna get going, try to do the last part of the trail that we didn't make it to yesterday, and then head back into town. Maybe go to a little local coffee shop. I kind of like that kind of stuff. So, and then unfortunately we gotta return this. So we got a little bit of cleaning to do also, but the sun's coming up. It's gonna be a beautiful day. I'm gonna get some off of your plate. You're not getting all of the sausage. How many can I have? 1, 2. That's hot. You're gonna eat all those? Let's show the camera. So this is the portion Cece gave me, and this is Cece's portion. 3, 4, 5, and I get 2. All right, there for you. Alright, go back to the other side, put them in, there's a box they go in, okay?
As we work our way back towards town, I have some time to reflect on all the memories that we've made over the past couple of days. I think about how lucky I am to be able to spend this time with my daughter, how truly blessed we are to have places like this that we're able to explore. I also feel a renewed enthusiasm and excitement for future family adventures. I do remember I have one last promise that I need to fulfill. But before that, we need to get this camper cleaned up and returned. Unfortunately, they only take coins, and I rarely carry those. I've only got 4 minutes to spray, scrub, and rinse this whole camper. Let's see if I can get it done. After we stopped by AO, it was off to lunch.
It's very good.
Well, a promise is a promise.